In this session, we'll learn about doing the African style mask final details. Couple things that we're going to be doing. You will be using some raffia, which looks like this. It's going to come in a bucket full of different kinds of colors. They'll be over on the green storage counter, and you'll be using that to tie through the holes, like you can see is already done. And you'll have some mosaic pieces that are going to come in a little container like this, and you can see there's a variety in there. And you're going to use that to create some extra designs and patterns. You might want to pre-sort some things there. And you're going to be needing one piece of long twine like this to put your mask together. So we'll start with the long twine. You have these two large holes here, which we already cut in from last time, and that's where you're going to put your long twine so that you can hang it up. The way that you do it is you take your twine and you just kind of shove it through the hole. I find that it works if you see these, the threads here are twisted one way. You take this and you twist it into the hole, the direction that the threads are twisting, and that'll help it slide through the hole. You want to get it all the way out the back, and then if you just simply tie a knot into this twine, just a simple regular knot, just like that, and pull it, then the knot will be too big to go back through the hole. Okay. Now if you have extra problems, sometimes the twine gets a little frayed here at the end, so if you have a little extra problem, you can use some tape. I've got tape up on my demonstration table, and I have some over on the green supply counter, and you can take the tape and kind of use it almost as like a shoelace, and you can just put it right on the front and then twist it as tightly as you can and kind of wind it around and then scrunch the top together, and you can get it, of course mine's too long so I'll cut it off here. You can get that so that it's nice and like not sharp but pointy at the end, and that kind of helps get it through the hole if you are having difficulty. So pull it through the hole, and you want it to be kind of short because this is for hanging it up. So you can adjust the length if you want, or if you want to leave it a little longer or leave it shorter, or you can change it later once you get home and you find a nice place to hang it. But so there you go. Now I've got this loop here, and I can hang it from that loop, and it'll just, you'll have a little deal right here along the edge, but that'll keep it nice and neat, and you'll have it looking nice when it's hanging up. The second part is the raffia. Choose a color that you like. You can see I obviously chose red down here, and I chose green and blue up here. What we're going to do is, if you have the raffia holes, if they worked out, obviously do the raffia. If you don't have raffia holes, well, you're going to have to skip that part, and on your self-evaluation you're just going to have to kind of put somewhat or no, depending on if you've got some other things that you can do for that. Same idea here. I'm twisting the raffia so it's thinner, and then I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it right through this hole. You can kind of see right here, if I've got my finger behind there, you can see that if I take my finger away it's light, and if I put my finger there it's dark, so you can see that hole. Take the little raffia, shove it through from the front. Notice I'm going through the front, and then I'm going to turn it around here so you can see the back. Here's the back. I pull it through, and then I kind of untwist it and find the loop again. Here's the loop. Okay. And then I take the front part and I pull it through the loop. Super easy to do. And then you just gently, to get it through all the loop parts, and you just gently pull it. You might have to help it by kind of pulling the front and kind of cinching it down gently, because if you pull hard the raffia will break, because it's not very strong. It's just kind of fibrous plant material. So you pull it through there so it's snug but not super tight. Don't yank on it or it will break. I also do not have a lot of raffia, so please don't waste it. If you have some left over, or you want to trim it or something so that it's not so long. If I push this up off the screen, you can see mine's fairly long. If you are to trim it or something with your scissors so it's all the same length, or if you have pieces left over, please put it back in the bucket so it can be used. I only have a little bit because I did not order any this year. I just simply found it in the back storage closet. So there we go, there's the raffia. Please add those in so it's symmetrical. Don't forget our mask is supposed to be symmetrical, so please add those in. Fill all the holes up so it's symmetrical. You can, if you'd like, fit some extra in here. You can, that's fine, not a problem. And if you've got holes at the top, great, do that wherever you want them. And then the last part is the mosaics. You can see here I've kind of put a little area of mosaic here. Don't forget our mask is supposed to be symmetrical. So please make any decorations that you add on symmetrical. Okay? Don't just put a hodgepodge of random crazy looking whatever on. Okay? Think about it first. So when you get your mosaics here, you might want to kind of dump a little bit of them out on the table thoughtfully and carefully, and then kind of pre-sort some shapes, because you can see that I've got some little hexagons here already sorted out, and I've got this kind of teardroppy shape and this kind of cubey shape and this triangle-y shape, kind of all pre-sorted so that I can make mine fairly symmetrical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by taking my hot glue gun. You'll have 2 hot glue guns. They are low temperature glue guns, so you won't drastically burn yourself if you get a little bit on you. However, if I see you putting this on your hands, or I see you goofing off with the hot glue gun, you will not have privileges, and I'll move you somewhere that you can work separately, and you'll just have to say no for your self-evaluation. When your parents ask you why you have to say no, you can say because I was goofing around and not being respectful or responsible with the materials. Okay, so the little hot glue guns, if you run out and the stick isn't coming out the end and there's just a little bit here, take another one of the sticks and you can gently push it into the hole and the glue will gently squeeze out the front. Okay, be careful with these, try not to make a mess because it does stick fairly easily. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start with these 2 little pieces here, and I'm going to take a little bit of glue and I'm going to squish it onto the top. Okay, I'm going to squish it onto the top.
There you go.
Squish it onto the top right here, and then thank you very much. You can just put that on my desk. Yeah. And put these just right here, one on this side. And if you've got any extra little glue chunks, you can kind of pick them off with your fingernail. It does, just like when it cools, it just turns into plastic, hard plastic. So once you get it on, it is difficult to get it off. So please think before you put it on about where you want them to be and how you want them to be arranged so that you get them on there nicely and that they're symmetrical and you don't have a lot left over. You can notice how I have mine laid out here already. Then I squish just a little dribble of glue. Welcome to school. Squish that little dribble of glue on and then gently squish it down onto the mask. Okay, rather than squishing the glue onto the mask first, because by the time you get it there it'll dry, and it does really dry quickly, so you do want to be quick and careful and thoughtful. And you get if you get a little tail of glue, you can just pull it off quickly, like and it'll snap off. And so that's how you do the hot glue. When you're done with the hot glue, just leave it at your table like this, kind of sitting on the side, so that it doesn't burn the table, and try not to get any on the table because, like I said, it is hard to get off. So here's like 2 symmetrical designs. I'll probably put some more up here, but I won't do it for the demonstration because you don't need to sit and watch me do all my decorations. So 3 things: the twine, raffia, glue down some decorative mosaics. Okay, and that concludes our lesson for the final details of our African style mask.